Hello everyone. Today we're going to take a look at using the init, the constructor of an object, using the OOP paradigm, right? We want to use the constructor, we want to reuse certain data all throughout our class. So the way we do that, first off, we start with defining the init. So that's define init, and you can see it's already predefined by Python here. All I did was put in an underscore. It's ready to autocomplete here. The first option, because it's the most used and it's sort of required. You really don't want to do much object-oriented programming without a constructor. And you'll see that some of the errors that I have here begin to go away once we start using this data. So what we're going to do for this specific object is you can see that the CSV file name is being used in every method. So that's a good red flag for data that should probably be grouped as a class variable. So we're going to create a class variable called CSV file name, and it's going to take in this file name rather than putting it as the parameter here. We can remove that parameter because everything is underneath this class object. So we no longer need to send in that parameter when we create this class object. It's associated with it. So here we're gonna get this data. How are we gonna get the file name data? Well, it's gonna be sent in as a parameter, just like a regular method call here, right? If I wanted to do read from CSV, I send in this parameter. Well, the constructor, the init, works the same way. So for now, just ignore the self. I'll get into what that does in just a minute, but pretend like it's not there. This is an empty parameter list, right? You have an init without a parameter list. Well, let's add a parameter called file name. So you can see that resolves this error, but we have a new error down here which says parameter file name unfilled. So this parameter is now needing to be defined, which is going to take this data right here. So earlier we were sending in CSV file name this way, but now we're going to refactor our code and send in the file this way, the file name this way. So now anytime we use this WDM object, it's going to be associated with this file here. What that gives us the power to do is use more than one WDM object. We could use more than one weather data manager object for different CSV files and perform different operations in our code without needing to redefine the CSV file name in every method. It's a cleaner and just a more solid approach. So once I removed that parameter, it's going to require me to update my code to use now the class variable. I'm going to do the same here. We're going to just remove that parameter here, replace it, and we're going to update this code here. CSV file name, we'll remove that and update that here. So now you can see the underline went away. It was earlier telling us it could be static. What that was saying is we weren't really using the object-oriented paradigm very much, but now we are. Now we have a class variable which is visible to all the methods. You can see here, they can see this variable, and it's only associated with the method. And this is how class object-oriented programming is done. You keep data associated with that specific object, all encapsulated. That's the encapsulation. Encapsulation is one of the big key buzzwords that comes with object-oriented programming. And what that's saying is that data associated with that object stays with that object here. And so that's what's going on in this init here. We're creating class variables that are specific to each object. If I make another weather data object with a different file name, it's going to have that file name associated with it. And a quick rundown of what self is. Self is just talking about the object itself here. That's how we know which object is being using this code here, right? You send in self, you're basically sending in this data here, which comes with all of the initialized variables, or if we change this other variables down the line, each object has its own state. So this variable, this WDM, is going to be associated. This specific variable is what self is referring to. It's referring to the object itself. And we send that into all the methods to give them access to the variables that we define in the init here, the constructor. So that's just a quick overview of using a constructor and how it ties into the big picture of some methods that you would use on that data. And this is, you'll see here if I run the code, we get the same result here as we did previously. So you can see you have all your data being read from the CSV file here. And we're able to do that with the file name being defined inside of the object. But yeah, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.